Here we go again. The bubble just burst on another one of Trump's big lies. The Independent reports here. A New York Times investigation has revealed that Trump's companies are carrying debt of at least $650 million, more than double the amount that he disclosed in public records. Okay, so that's hilarious because they're saying here, well, that's more than the double that he disclosed in public records. But Trump has, on the campaign trail and in many interviews, said, I have no debt. I have none. I don't believe in debt. None. I don't have any. I have no, or sometimes he says, I don't have any, but very little. Which is it? And also, at I think it was his campaign launch, he repeated that over and over and over and over and over. So, like, everything this guy says is false. We just covered the story. He said, I'm going to get 95% of the African-American vote in 4 years. That's obviously not true. The ease at which he lies is fucking jarring, man. It really is. They continue. The Republican owns minority stakes in an opaque network of partnerships and limited liability companies and relies on credit and loans to prop them up. That's exactly what we told you it was from the beginning. All Donald Trump is good at is saying, Trump, successful, great, billionaire, amazing, Trump, 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 Trump. So he pumps up his name, he markets his name to the point where a significant percentage of the country goes, okay, Trump equals, wealthy billionaire, successful person, and he's the epitome of like this capitalist success. So he pumps up his name enough to make it so that he can get into partnerships with some people, and he sets up LLCs, limited liability companies, and then he relies on credit and loans to prop up said businesses. So in other words, the businesses aren't successful on their own right by their own merits. It's the Mitt Romney trick, actually, when it came to Bain Capital. So what do? You go in, you harvest a company, you load it up with debt, and then you run out the back door with all the money and let them file for bankruptcy. Well, that's similar to what Trump does. In fact, Trump has filed for bankruptcy at least 5 different times with 5 of his different companies, and it's for this reason. It's amazing, and he does it over and over and over and over, and he still somehow sold this facade that, oh, he's better than other business people or he's super successful. They continue here. One example is an office building on 6th Avenue in Manhattan, which is indebted by $950 million. The 2 major backers are the Bank of China and Goldman Sachs. Mr. Trump has railed against China for not paying its fair share of taxes for taking American manufacturing jobs, and he has blasted his rival Hillary Clinton for accepting $675,000 in speaking fees from Goldman Sachs. Okay. Everything that is like a key component to his attacks on Hillary Clinton, oh, corrupt insider, taking money, doing favors, this and that. He's in the same position, man. The same position, and it's maybe even worse, $950. He would love to be in just that much debt. $950 million in debt to China and Goldman Sachs as he fucking rips insiders, rips Wall Street, rips Goldman Sachs, rips China. He says, oh, I'm against the free trade deals. They're terrible. You outsource American jobs. TPP, bad. Meanwhile, the dude has, so much of his shit made in Turkey, so much made in Mexico, so much made in China. Over and over as he rips these things, he proves, am I actually against it in principle? No, if I was against it in principle, I wouldn't ship my own jobs overseas, but I do. So it's nonsense, this America first. If you wanted to put America first, you could have done it with your own jobs, and you didn't. And you're so fucking successful that you're in debt, nearly $1 billion to Goldman Sachs and to China. And again, the lies go so deep that he pretends he doesn't even have debt. Not only does he have debt, he has it to China and Goldman Sachs. 2 fucking groups, one government, one fucking company that he's ripped repeatedly. So, unbelievable. And then finally they say this. A significant chunk of his wealth is also beholden to 3 passive partnerships that owe a further $2 billion in debt to a group of lenders, such as the ones who own the 6th Avenue office building. If the loans were to default, the value of his investments would plummet, even if he were not held personally liable. So he's just relying on the good graces of the people he's in debt to not say, all right, you're done here, son. But if they were to pull the rug, it's over. It's over. So this is exactly what Trump is. This is what every sane person knew he was from the beginning. He's just built a career on bragging, built a career on saying he's better than he is. He's so insistent on it, and his language is so consistent, saying, oh, I'm the best, I'm very rich, I'm very, very rich, I make the people around me rich, this and that. He's done that while at the same time being massively, massively in debt. Remember, it was in, I think it was 2006, that the most accurate assessment of his wealth had it between $150 million on the low end, and I think about $600 million on the high end. That's still a lot of money. But now you know it's $650 million in debt. So, assuming the money didn't go up in other ways, and it may have, Donald Trump could have less money than you. Because he could be down $50 million, but in reality, maybe down overall hundreds of millions of dollars if the lower range of the amount of money he has is actually correct. So his debt might massively outweigh how much money he has. It's all a facade. Everything about it is a facade. And if people just pull the rug from underneath them and say, that's it, man, you're done, pay up or it's over. What an amazing way that would be to expose this fraud at the end of his campaign here.